Welcome to video 12 in series 3, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use layers to control collision, and I'll just put a fancy title just to make it sound more interesting. Okay, to begin with, I'll probably just remove these cubes here. I don't need them anymore, and they're just kind of like clutter, so I'll just get rid of them. I'll add in a new cube. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a wall, and I'm going to give that wall a specific layer, and then the player's layer will be able to pass through that one. So let me go ahead, make a wall here. I'll reset the position. I'll just call it wall. And I'll increase the size in X, 10. I'll increase the height to 2. I'll move it up. Alright, and just move it in front. And then if I hit play, of course I can't walk through it. It's a solid wall. It's on the default layer. Okay. And the player is on the default layer as well. The player has its own collider within the character controller, so you don't actually see a collider attached to it, but it's within it. It is there. And it's on the default layer. Now I can adjust what layers interact with what layers in physics. So first of all, I'll add a new layer, and I'll call it, say, not solid. Okay, not solid. Now if I go to Edit, Project Settings, Physics, I can see the different layers, and I can see which layers interact with which. So currently not solid interacts with everything. So if I assign that to the wall, not solid, and hit play. Okay, so it's just a solid wall. I can't walk through it. I can only jump over it. Okay. So if I go back to Edit, Project Settings, Physics, I can then turn off default. So now not solid will not interact with default. Alright, so if I hit play, there you go, you can walk right through. So these physics objects no longer interact with each other. Now I could do something slightly more interesting as well. I could make a new script, and I'll call it, say, walk through wall. I'll open it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the layer of the wall when it's enabled, when the script is enabled, and I'll revert it back when it's disabled. So I guess I'll do that, convert the line endings on this manually right now. First of all, okay, and I'll add in my namespace, chapter 1, alright. And I just grab all this here, drop it in. Alright, then next what I'll use two different Unity functions. They're void on, whoops, careful with the case there. So on enable and on disable. So these are both Unity inbuilt functions. And I'll just get rid of start and update. And what I'll say is that in here, I'll simply set the GameObject.layer. So whatever the script is attached to, it will be referring to the game object that the script is attached to. So for example, I'm going to attach this. I've just attached it to the wall. So when I type in that small letter GameObject, small beginning letter GameObject, in the script, it is referring to the game object that the script is attached to. So, and then I'll access the layer. So then I'm accessing this layer part. And I'll say that GameObject.layer is equal to layerMask.nameToLayer. So this is how you can assign the layer to a game object by the name of the layer. And I named that not solid. Okay, so when the script is enabled, then this action will happen. And when the script is disabled, then what I will do is to set the layer back to default. Alright, so void on disable. So let's say I set this wall back to default. You can see the script is enabled, so when I start the game, there you go, the layer gets set to not solid. And I can walk through the wall. Now if I disable the script by unchecking it, there you see the layer gets set to default, and now I can't walk through the wall. And if I enable the script, then it gets set back to not solid. Okay, so that is really simple, and it is simple to enable or disable a script, and all it is just about just accessing that script. Perhaps I'll show you that another time. Maybe I'll show you that with triggers. Alright, so that's enough for this video. You've gone ahead, you've seen how to use layers to control collision, and it's really simple. And you've also just briefly seen how to set the game object's layer through code. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you next time.